From now on, there will be bigger visuals in my episodes.
The 1935 Grand Prix of Modena. Welcome by Johannes Lacroix. Hello and welcome to another episode of Grand Prix 80th Anniversary. Today's episode is the Grand Prix of Modena. This series is a series where I review Grand Prix races that happened exactly 80 years ago to the day. Now this picture represents where people come from. Silver cars are from Germany, red cars are from Italy, and blue cars are from France. Last week was the Italian Grand Prix, a monumental race for the European Drivers' Championship at the legendary circuit of Monza. And today, we're here in Maserati's own backyard for another Grand Prix in Italy, here in Modena. This is where Maserati reside. They have been residing here for years, and that's clock tower there. It's one of the tourist attractions there at Modena. Obviously, we must get through each subject that's in the way before getting to the actual Grand Prix. In the voiturette race, the locals have many people to choose from, since many people are racing Maserati 4CMs. The list takes up most of the entry list, such as Ferdinando Barbieri, Ettore Bianco, Giuseppe Farina's boss Gino Roveri, and Pino Baruffi, not Piero Taruffi, Pino Baruffi. So, we have the most experienced Maserati driver in this field of drivers, since he races Grand Prix cars as well. And there's Ettore Bianco racing his second voiturette race, and Gino Roveri, who is Giuseppe Farina's working boss. He is fielding Farina because he was entered in the voiturette race. That said, though, there is a voiturette enthusiast, Luigi Platti, in a Talbot, also appearing today. However, his engine is the same size as the 4CM's, but has twice as many cylinders. So, Platt says, "We're going to win this with dignity." With Barbieri, the most experienced Maserati driver here, in pole position, you'd expect him to win. But no. There are 7 people who have the same car he does, with the same engine size. Anything can happen. So here in this scene we have Gino Roveri battling for the lead with Barbieri, and he said he reckons he should win. But meanwhile there's Ettore Bianco and all the other guys, as well as Eventually, Barbieri was out of the race 40% of the way through due to mechanical problems, which meant that the underdog Ippolito Baroni could take the start from the beginning and keep the lead until the end. Modena is taking his first victory of this year. Also, we will never see him again. Now, obviously, the fan favorite here is Maserati, as I've just told you that this is where their headquarters are. But they must keep in mind that the Ferrari team is here with 6 drivers. So here are the first 5, the minor Italians. There's Carlo Pintocuda, Gianfranco Comotti in his 3rd actual appearance here in Grand Prix 80th Anniversary, and Attilio Marinoni, Antonio Brivio, the most major I don't know how you describe it. Nuvolari's an Italian, but he's the leading driver. And the second biggest Italian on the team is Brivio, and then there's Mario Tedini. And of course there is Tazio Nuvolari, who is at the wheel of the magnificent Alfa Romeo 8C35, which is next year's chassis for Alfa Romeo that was tested by Nuvolari and Dreyfus at the Italian Grand Prix last week. It finished 2nd in the race and set the fastest lap of the day, making it a brilliant machine. "I know you won't let me down." Nuvolari is very hopeful with the 1936 chassis and hoping that it's going to work. Maserati are here with 2 drivers, Victor Hugo Malucci, and Giuseppe Farina, the former not being ready for the race. So many locals are going to cheer for Farina, who's in the unreliable V8RI chassis. Now, the V8RI has already been used for 2 months now, and it's not gained any success whatsoever. And the 8C35, however, has been driving for 1 week. It's already come second in a European Championship race. Come second at Monza. So yeah, Farina faces steep odds here. So both the Master and the Apprentice, the latter being the fan favorite, in the 1936 chassis for both Alfa Romeo and Maserati. There are only 8 drivers here, so I could just say, and the drivers lined up in groups of 4. So Pintacuda and Comotti start first. Wouldn't you say Nuvo's pretty lucky? Yes, he is lucky to have that car. Yes, they're just having a bit of a discussion, while Farina is blocking them off from Attilio Marinoni. Ha ha, Master, I'm ahead. That's one thing that you have to be careful about. Yes. And then there's Tazio Nuvolari. Not for long, I'm afraid. And Emilio Romano from the Bergamo circuit race. Long time ago. Very. And then behind him is the rest of the Ferrari team, featuring Tadini and Brivio. So yeah, all that's here that is not Ferrari is Farina and Romano. Romano being the only one who's not driving a red car out of all these people. And so, the verdict. At the start, the local favorite gets ahead, while Nuvolari shoots through the traffic to get up to second. Still behind me. I mean, Farina hasn't officially taken lessons from him yet, but we can consider him that. Eventually, however, the Flying Mantuan caught up and was engaged in a Kenobi Skywalker duel between him and his apprentice. I really want to win this time. I understand that, but you still have more to learn. I love the wiseness of Nuvolari, but this really is a character trait set by Louis Chiron, who isn't here. Nuvolari most of the time is just a man of passion in this. All Italians are. And you know what? Maybe Nuvolari was right, because after only 6 laps he got past Farina, and a lap later, the inevitable happened with his fuel tank. What the heck is wrong with the V8RI? The only good it's managed to do is finish second in the first heat of the Grand Prix de Le Mans. They have not managed to be successful with anything else. Nuvolari says it would be wise if he joined Alfa Romeo. And I think that is what might be the wisest course of action for Farina. So that's about it for this race. All the locals are really annoyed. The V8RI needs less racing and more work. And luckily there is winter and the fall to do that. Meanwhile, in the clearly more superior 8C35 chassis is powered to an invincible victory in the circuit of Modena. And on to Lazzate. The conclusion we're coming to here is the V8RI was first used in July, but it's still a chassis for next year that needs improvements. The 8C35 may have meant to be just a prototype, but on 2 occasions, both in Monza and Modena, they have proven its brilliance so well that they may well be actually using it as their official chassis from now on. I think we've replaced our old chassis perfectly. Just really like this car, just love the shape of it. So yeah, it was Ferrari domination, Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4, with Tadini and Pintacuda finishing ahead of Brivio. They were just right behind. Tadini was 15 seconds off, Pintacuda was 22 seconds off, Brivio was 25 seconds off. And Romano finished, but he was 10 laps behind. And that shows how outdated the Bugatti Type 51 is, and how inexperienced he is. With the Type 51 would have finished 6 laps behind. But adding his untalented driving style, he's 10 laps behind. And Marinoni failed to finish, but there's no known reason why. And Camotti had a brake problem. And just to show how unreliable their chassis is, Farina failed to finish, and he retired from the race the moment it happened. It's just crazy. Sorry. Wow, that's the smallest episode of Grand Prix 80th Anniversary we've ever had. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button or the subscribe button, or leave a comment. And I'll see you next week for the 1935 AIACR European Drivers' Championship Grand Finale, the Spanish Grand Prix at the Maserati circuit. So I hope you're looking forward to that. See you next time.